Isaiah chapter 30. Woe to the rebellious children, says Yahweh, who take counsel, but not from me, who pour out libations to the gods, but not by my spirit, so they may add sin to sin, who walk to go down into Egypt, the house of God, but have not asked at my mouth for advice, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Therefore, the strength of Pharaoh will be your shame, and trust in the shadow of Egypt will be your confusion, humiliation. For his princes were at Zon, and his ambassadors came to Hanes. They were all ashamed of a people who could not benefit them, or be a help or a profit, but a shame and also a reproach. The burden against the beasts of the south, through the land of trouble and anguish, where the young and old lion, the viper and fiery flying serpent come from. They will carry their riches upon the shoulders of young donkeys, and their treasure upon the humps of camels, to a people who will not benefit them. For the Egyptians will help in vain, and to no purpose, will be utterly useless. Because of this, I have called her Rahab Himshebeth. Rahab sits idle. Now go, write it before them on a tablet, and note it in a book, so it may be for the time to come, forever and ever. That this rebellious people, lying children, are children who will not listen to the law of Yahweh, who say to the seers, do not see, who say to the prophets, do not prophesy right things to us, speak smooth things to us, prophesy deceits. Get out of the way, turn away from the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from our presence. Therefore, this is what the Holy One of Israel says. Because you despise this word, the law and the prophets, and trust in oppression and perverseness, and stay thereon, lean upon it, therefore, this iniquity will be to you like a breach, a weakened wall ready to fall, a bulge of a high wall which breaks suddenly in an instant. And he will break it like the breaking of the potter's vessel, which breaks in pieces. He will not spare. So there will not be found among its fragments assured to take fire from the hearth or to dip water from the cistern. For this is what Father Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel, says. In returning in rest will you be saved. In quietness and in confidence will be your strength. But you would not do this. You said, no, we will flee upon horses. Because of this, you will flee. You said, we will ride upon the swift. Because of this, they who pursue you will be swift. 1,000 will flee at the rebuke of one, at the rebuke of 5, you will all flee. Till you are left like a beacon flagpole on the top of a mountain, like an ensign on a hill. Therefore, Yahweh will wait, so he may be compassionate to you, and therefore will he be exalted, so he may have mercy upon you. For Yahweh is a father of judgments. Blessed are all those who wait for him. The people will dwell in Zion at Jerusalem. You will weep no more. He will be very compassionate to you at the sound of your cry. When he hears it, he will answer you. Though Yahweh gives you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet your teachers will not be moved into a corner anymore. But your eyes will see your teachers. Your ears will hear a word behind you saying, this is the way. Walk in it when you turn to the right hand and when you turn to the left. You will also defile the images of your gods, which are overlaid with silver, and the images of your gods ornamented with gold. You will cast them away as a minstrel's cloth. You will say to them, get away. Then he will give the rain for your seed, with which you will sow the ground, and bread from the increase of the earth, which will be fat and plenteous. In that day your cattle will feed in large pastures. Likewise, the oxen and the young donkeys that work the ground will eat savory fodder, which will be spread out with fork and shovel. There will be upon every high mountain and upon every high hill rivers and streams of water in the day of the great slaughter, when the towers fall. Moreover, the light of the moon will be as the light of the sun, and the light of the sun will be 7 times brighter, like the light of 7 days, in the day that Yahweh binds up the breach of his people and heals the stroke of their wound. Behold, the name of Yahweh comes from afar, in blazing anger amid dense clouds of smoke. His lips are full of wrath, and his tongue like a devouring fire. His breath like an overflowing stream will reach to the midst of the neck, to sift the nations with the sieve of vanity, destruction, and there will be a bridle in the jaws of the people, causing them to err. You will have a song as in the night when a holy feast is kept, and gladness of heart as when one goes in a procession with a flute to come into the mount of Yahweh, to the mighty one of Israel. Yahweh will cause his glorious voice to be heard, and will show the descending blow of his arm, with the indignation of his anger, and with the flame of a devouring fire, with scattering tempest and hailstones. For through the voice of Yahweh, the Assyrian will be beaten down, who struck with a rod, and in every place where the punishing staff will pass, which Yahweh will lay upon him, it will be to the music of tambourines and harps, as he fights them in battle with the blows of his arm. For Tophet is ordained of old, yes, for the king Molech it is prepared. He has made its fire pits deep and large, with fire and much wood. The breath of Yahweh, like a stream of brimstone, kindles it.